Oh.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to another awesome, amazing episode of the Table Spot. My name is Metalcore Mike, and we have some amazing guests with us tonight. First off, we're going to do the roll call. I'm joined here by the Sin City Wolf himself, and what we do all the time for this gentleman is we throw our ones up for Sean. Also, we got Zodiac Cam himself. Cam, welcome. Good evening. How are you doing? Back here with us. Now, the roll call goes. We got the crew from Botched, and Chair Shots. Introducing first, the Will Gray. Will, good evening.
When you eat candy, and I think you do this, do you divide it up based on which flavor it is? Like I have 2 green sweet tarts, 1 blue, 1 2 purple, 3 red, 1 yellow. I divided them up by color so I can eat my least favorite to my favorite in that order. So does anybody else do that?
So how I do it with my high chews is I take them and then I would divide them up and put the same flavors with the, and then I do like a rotation. Like if I eat a green one, then I got to eat a yellow one, then I'll eat a red one, and then sometimes I'll fuse them. Together.
That's just stuff it in my face.
That sounds like OCD to me, but okay.
It is.
Oh, I
have really bad OCD.
I'm from the forgotten generation of the 80s, Cam. They didn't diagnose shit when I was born.
Yeah.
But to finish off our roll call, we got the boss bitch herself, Allison, the host of Boss Bitch Trivia on Thursday nights. And we got the Ginger Ninja himself, Jax. And we got a special guest with us for our number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome in the Candyman himself, Johnny H.
Hey! What's up, everybody?
So
I couldn't miss this week, man. I was a part of when you originally assigned the assignment for the women's top 10. I was there, so I couldn't miss this week.
So we were supposed to do this a few weeks ago, but John was gone 1 week, then Sean was gone 1 week. We didn't have everybody here for that for the each time that we wanted to do this. So I took advantage of John being on this morning, and I said, John, why don't you come on for the first hour Table Spot? We're going to have the crew from Botched, and Chair Shots with us. Let's just make this one big show.
What's going on?
To do this list. So,
let's do it.
So, like I said, the as I get my my stuff together here, PWI came out with their women's 250. Now, their top 10 from 10 to 1. Jordan Grace from Impact Wrestling, soon to be TNA again. Number 9 was Camille from the NWA. Number 8 was Willow Nightingale from AEW / Ring of Honor. Number 7, Deonna Purrazzo from Impact, soon to be TNA again. Number 6, Athena from AEW / Ring of Honor, and she is the Ring of Honor World Women's Champion right now. Number 5, Tam Nakano, the Stardom Champion. Number 4, Jamie Hayter from AEW. Number 3, Bianca Belair from WWE. Number 2, Julia from Stardom. And number 1, Rhea Ripley, the current WWE Women's World Champion. So what we are going to do here is we are going to pretty much go in the rotation. How we're going to do this is we're going to go by screen and rotation of screen. And we'll do the first rotation is going to be your 10 to 5. And if you want to give a little bit of an explanation on why you put them in that spot, your thoughts on why you put them in that spot, the floor is yours when it is your turn. So go for it. And if anybody has a reaction to it, so be it. Let's have some fun with this list.
Will you give me 10 and 7 again? My notes got behind because I'm high.
So number 10 is Jordan Grace from Impact, soon to be TNA. Number 8 is Camille from the NWA.
Yeah.
Number 8, Willow Nightingale from AEW / Ring of Honor.
Mhm.
And number 7, Deonna Purrazzo from Impact / soon to be TNA.
I know her.
Okay. Does anybody else need any repeats from this list before we begin? We're all good to go?
Mm-mm.
Okie dokie. So, to start on the screen here, Allison, from 10 to 5, who do you have on your list?
So I'm pretty okay with the list, how it stands for the most part. Go away, ad. Sorry, I'm trying to look at the list and there's a freaking ad like blocking my screen here. Nope.
Do you need a little more time with the list?
No, I just need this ad to not be
Okay.
blocking me. The list.
She's looking at it because she's smarter than I am. She pulled it up online. I tried to write it down as you were reading, and I was like, that shit didn't work.
Okay, hang on. I'm getting there. Well, I had it up on my computer, and then it was making my computer slow. Okay, so the only changes I would make is I would put, so Rhea Ripley stays at 1, Julia 2, Bianca 3. I would put Camille at 4 and push down like Jamie Hayter and Tam. And yeah, the rest I'm okay with. I would just move, well, that's not true. I would push up Camille and Jordan to be Camille 4, Jordan 5, and then just push the rest of the list.
Well, also, Al, we were doing like your own top 10.
Oh my!
too, as well. Yeah.
So you make up your own list on who you think should be on the top 10. If you're comfortable with the top 10 that they made, but you have a different order they should be in, then that's your list.
Yeah.
It's fine. But the first line is from 10 to 5, so we don't have to go down the whole list right away.
10 to 10 to 5, I would have at 10, I would probably put Willow, 9 Athena, 8 Deonna, and 7. Wait. Hang on. Yeah. So basically, my like bottom half would be, so 5 would be Jamie Hayter, 6 would be Tam Nakano, Athena would be 7, Willow would be, Deonna would be.
Okay, so you have Willow at 10.
Willow at 10.
Athena at 9.
Athena at
Deonna Purrazzo at 7 or 8 at 8. So, and then you have Jamie Hayter at 5, Tam at 6. So you would be putting
basically I just want to like take Camille and Jordan and put Camille in Jamie's spot.
Okay.
And Jordan in Tam's spot, and then just move it down.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? God, that was terrible.
It's okay. It's not a problem. I think I get what you're getting to here with it.
Yeah. Like, I'm good with the list as it is. Like, I actually think that they did a really good job on this list.
So you're comfortable with the top 10. It's just that there's a few that you would flip around because you feel like there's a little bit more of importance in the spotting with where they were at. So, for example, like Camille, she was the NWA Women's Champion for well over 500 days.
It was like 800. Well, what's the
exact number? 813 days she was champion. So realistically, you look at it, why would she not be up more on this list? Like, she's sitting at number 9.
Yeah.
Where Rhea Ripley sits at 1. She's only been World Women's Champion for a few months.
Yes, but I think her work is better. So.
Gotcha. Okay, Cam. You're 10 to 5.
Alrighty, so I've had this list written down literally since September 24th, so I had to tweak it a bit, and that took me a while. So a couple of these names that were on my original list, I either just took off completely or swapped around. So 10 to 5, and mind you that this is just mainly from AEW, WWE. I don't really watch NWA and Stardom and all that stuff, so it's just mainly between those two companies. So 10 to 5, 10 I've got Meiko Satomura at 10. 9 I've got Steph DeLander. 8 I've got Chris Statlander. 7 I've got Tony Storm. 6 is Jordan Grace, and 5 is Deonna Purrazzo.
So the two that actually, Chris Statlander at number 8. Question on this one: Statlander's been out for a while. She came back and won the TBS championship back at, what was it? Double or Nothing. And how they base these lists is it's a year thing from July to June. So basically in the review of a month, her work just that month impressed you with her making it onto your bottom 5.
I believe so. I think, since coming back, I think she's just improved and she's really impressed me. So, yeah, like I said again, this was a very difficult list for me to make. So,
yeah, I'll say this: I had to do the same thing. I had to kind of flop mine around the past couple of weeks as far as spotting, as far as who's on the list. I pretty much for the most part stuck with what list I had, but having to take away some of the changes. So, and then made the decision that I felt like somebody was a little better to fill into that spot.
Right.
That makes sense. Sean, you're 10 to 5.
My 10 to 5, number 10 is Io Sky. Number 9 is Johnny Robbie, who's been frequent in the Indies, New Japan, and Mexico. Hyan, who just wrestled for New Japan and as well as the Indies. Number 7, I'm switching Trinity for Masha Slamovich because she's been crazy on TNA, and she just this summer won the first ever Queen of Indies. Number 6 is Gypsy Mac. And number 5 is someone who's been running rampant all over the Indies and parted in the New Japan Academy in Viva Van.
And I'm sorry, who was your number 8 again?
My number 8 is Hyan.
So I'll say this. The one thing I like about your list is you went outside the realm of like major TV. Like you went to the Indies, you went to, stuff that we don't see every week. And what's cool about that too is you're able to grade that they can be doing something better than somebody on TV has done, which is really awesome. I would really like to see where these women placed in the actual 250 and compare your list to see where they sat. And you definitely opened up my eyes to some women that I have not heard of, to where I'll definitely go check out their stuff if they have anything on social media. Definitely. So, Jax, from 10 to 5, you're 10 to 5.
Right now, I'm trying to shuffle the list because I feel like it's not what I want, but it is at the same time. At number 10, I have Alley Catch.
Great pick.
Yes.
Great pick.
Like,
Great pick.
She's fucking phenomenal, and she can go out there and hang with anybody. Like,
Yes,
she's doing it in TNA. She's doing it in GCW, Wrestling Revolver. So number 9, I have Tony Storm. She's growing on me. I've just never really been a big Tony Storm fan. Number 8, this might shock some people. Roxanne Perez.
Good pick.
Oh, there you go.
Like, I feel like she spent a year in Ring of Honor, won the women's world title, and within that year of being released was NXT Women's World Champion. So I think she's had a pretty progressive year. This one, I'm ready to watch everyone jump down my throat. My number 7 pick is Rhea Ripley. She's just not. Yeah, she's women's world champion. Of promos, like of not getting in the ring.
Give her the golden mic.
Yeah, like she's the number one.
So she's a female AJ Kurtz, is what you're saying.
She's just not for me. Number 6, I went with Deonna Purrazzo. I've watched her career for a long time. She's come leaps and bounds. And number 5, I believe she got the wrong number on the list. Number 5, Camille. And I have to thank Will and Allison for putting me onto Camille and watching her matches.
Oh, she's awesome.
Dude,
she's
her last night was spot on Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah, I met her in 2018. She's fucking amazing.
I remember the first time I seen Camille come on my TV, and I was like, who is this? And she was standing right next to Nick Aldis. And I was like, she stands literally height to height with him. He's jacked. She's got great stature. Right away, immediately, I was like, I want to see this woman in the ring. I did. I was ready to see her get in the ring to see what she can do. And she's done nothing but impress me. And on top of that, with her title reign, amazing. Your list from 10 to 5, I like it. I like your placement with Rhea Ripley. I'm a huge fan of Rhea Ripley. I am. Love Rhea Ripley. Really awesome talent. I agree with your placement because of the fact we don't see much of her in ring. Great point on that. And yeah, she's women's world champion. She might be champion for a while. I think if there's ever a time that she breaks away from Judgment Day, I think that's going to change the script with her of not being out of the ring as much as she is now. I think if she breaks away from Judgment Day, she'll be in the ring more.
She's worked the last 4 nights in Germany wrestling Raquel Rodriguez.
But start putting her in the ring on TV.
Agreed. House shows aren't canon.
No.
Well, she's got that match at Crown Jewel, Fatal 5-Way?
Yeah.
Yep.
Before we move forward, I would just want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining us here tonight on the Table Spot. We are joined by the crew from Botched and Chair Shots. In our number 1 here, we are coming up with our own top 10 list. PWI came out with their 250 women's list. We are coming up with our own top 10 because they came out with their top 10. Say hello to some of the people in the chat. Nicole, thank you for joining us. Shadow, thank you for joining us. King John, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Matt, thank you for joining us. Noob, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you for coming in tonight and checking out the Table Spot. We move forward, John. From 10 to 5.
Well,
as I put my page over here. Who do you got?
Unfortunately, my original list, I misplaced a notebook, so I had to throw something together real fast. So some of the picks might be out there that you guys might be thinking. I'm going to start with number 10, and I'm going to do the tag team of Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. I thought they did really, really good things when they were the NXT Tag Team Champions.
Disco Ninja Sex Party.
Yes. Number 9.
Disco Ninja Sex Party, dude. I was just talking about them.
Oh boy, number 9. Even though I hate her gimmick, and I know you were talking about it, I believe, on the last show, Bot Shots. Tony Storm, I hate this gimmick for her. But number 8, I flipped back and forth between a couple people and ended up with Willow Nightingale.
Good pick.
I think she's ready to take the next step. She's got the fans behind her. She's not a bad wrestler. Number 7, I have Jordan Grace. And number 6, Deonna Purrazzo.
Ooh.
And who's your number 5?
Okay. All right. Number 5 is Roxanne Perez. Number 4.
No, just your number 5.
Oh, okay. My
You're
bad.
not from 4 to 1 yet. So Roxanne Perez is your number 5.
Yes, sir.
So I will say this: I am really glad that that Roxanne Perez is ending up on lists.
She deserves it.
She's definitely another one that I'm a fan of, and I think she's going to have a great future in WWE if they do things right with her. Awesome talent, and I think with how old she is, she's just going to keep getting better. Definitely going to keep getting better. Well, you're 10 to 5.
My list has 2 that nobody's mentioned yet. I'm going to start number 10, the Queen of the Death Match. She is fucking adorable. Maki Ito. She's got a work rate that's better than anybody right now. That fucking woman is working to the bone. Number 9, the lady who was the first NWA TV champion. She lost that belt, earned the right to go the next night to go up against Camille, and she beat her. She was the 2021 Women's Most Valuable Rookie of the Year, and that was Kenzie Page. She's had a ridiculously good year. She is currently holding the berg as the NWA Women's World Champion. She dethroned Camille. Number 8, Athena. Athena has a great work rate. I think the biggest holdup for Athena, and the reason why I put her down this low, is because Ring of Honor is not a real TV deal.
Thank you. I've been saying that since I've been on the table spot. Give it its own show. Thank you.
Number 7, somebody else who's not on a real TV deal. I'm just kidding. Masha Slemovich. I love Impact Wrestling. I say it all the time. The Knockouts division is one of the best division, one of the best, if not the best women's division in pro wrestling right now. And at the top of that is Masha Slamovich, Killer Kelly. So number 6, this was a toss-up because I wasn't sure if I wanted to put her higher just because of the rocket that's been on her back, and that's Willow. I think she has had a ridiculously strong year. All the way up to winning that New Japan Strong Women's title. I know Mercedes got hurt and they had to call an audible, but she ran with it. She was a great champion. She's had a fantastic year. And number 5, the virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo. She's one of my favorite wrestlers that in the women's division. And I think when her contract is up with Impact, she will be one of the most viable free agents on the market.
So I honestly, I love your list so far. You added somebody that's actually on my list. This person is she's in my top 5. I will say that. I'm not going to mention that person yet, but Willow Nightingale, I will say this. And Sean knows this. I was with Sean this day, had the pleasure of meeting her. She is a super sweet person, awesome person. She is doing great things. Great things.
Yep.
And when she had that match against Julia, I had that feeling that she was going to start making that turn. And I even said it that I feel like she needs to go on this mean streak. Like, if they're not doing it with Nyla, and I wanted them to do it with Jade Cargill, Jade's not there anymore. Do it with Willow. Have her go on this mean streak and just start overtaking the women's division. one thing I think, and I hope they're starting to see and realize, is they got something good with Willow, and they need to utilize it. Definitely moving forward. So I have my obviously I have my list. And by all means, if anybody wants to critique, you're more than welcome to.
I will. Trust me, I will.
Let me just say this. Anybody is more than welcome to critique anybody at any time.
Oh, he's going to critique me.
This is definitely open forum. So to get into it, my number 10 is Soraya.
Ooh, yes.
Okay. Now, understandable. She's not in the ring as much. I understand she has a different work rate right now. She can only be in the ring. It's what, twice a month? She's able to be in the ring once a month. She came in and within the year won the AEW Women's Championship. All her matches, they haven't been bad. Even her most current one with Sheeta 2 weeks ago on Title Tuesday. Hell of a match. And the sell that she did after getting rolled up was awesome. That told a story of its own. Number 9, like everybody, Willow Nightingale. I pretty much said about Willow. I think she's doing great, and I hope they have her get on that mean streak. My number 8, Io Sky.
Good pick.
Io Sky, for a while, everybody's been wanting her to become a champion. Now she finally becomes a champion. And I don't know if everybody else is seeing it, but I have this small little feeling. I mean, she's been in some really good matches. She has been. But I just have this small feeling, and I don't know if anybody else is having it. She's almost having the same type of reign that Bianca Belair had. To an extent. My number 7, y'all know I'm not a huge fan of this person, but I have to give her credit where credit is due. Toni Storm.
She's not even on my list.
No?
Nuh-uh. She's not in my top 5. She didn't make my top 10.
I honestly was very skeptical with putting her on this, but I have to give her credit where credit is due. I mean, she was able to change her character on the fly the way she has. Former world champion in the past year. And her in-ring work, it's not bad. It's just, there's just something that's not there for me to be a fan of her. I can't. I don't know what it is. I'm not a fan of hers. I can't. My number 6, Hikaru Shida.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Hikaru Shida is my number 6. It seems like they're going on this streak of making her a transitional champion, and it really sucks. Especially after her having the reign that she did during the pandemic. It's like, okay, we come back to crowds, and now it's like, we'll throw the belt on Shida for 3 weeks and have her lose it. Let's throw it on her now and then build somebody else up only for her to lose it.
Can I jump in here?
Of course.
I said last night on Smacking It Raw, no free shout-outs. I said that I was okay. I swallowed Hikaru Shida being a transitional champion for all the reasons you just said. Because she's a strong enough worker. She's a strong enough character. She's a strong enough leader in the locker room that if Tony Khan goes, oh, fuck, I don't have somebody right now in creative that can be a viable champion, put the belt on Hikaru Shida. You know she's good enough to carry your division. Let her be your transitional champion. You know who's one of the greatest transitional champions of all time and nobody wants to fucking talk about it? The Game, Triple H. Yeah. Look at how many title reigns he had. Charlotte Flair, you know, barely having reigns over 90 days, 100 days. I would very well say that's a transitional champion. If you barely hold it for more than a quarter, 2 pay-per-views maybe, You know what I mean? Like, I would qualify that as transitional. That was a lot of Triple H's career. That's why he has a billion title reigns. Same for Charlotte. You know, like, look at these transitional champions. I don't think that's a negative. What that says to me is you're fucking Miz. You're consistent. You work for it. You can be there for 20 years with no major issues. Fuck it. I would love to be a transitional champion.
One thing about Charlotte, I definitely want to do the research on this, but I believe there was one time where she only had like a 3-day reign. Like she won at a pay-per-view and then she lost to SmackDown.
We talked about this not too long ago on Botched Spots, man. Like, there's so many of her title reigns that are 90 days or less because she doesn't have to hold it long. She's bigger than the title. You know what I mean? Charlotte's a great transitional champion for that reason because she doesn't have to have it. Seth with the U.S. title a year ago, 2 years ago, he held it for what, 16 days?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It didn't matter because Seth Rollins didn't need it. He was a great transitional champion. Being strong enough that the promoter knows at any given point they can put a belt around your waist and you'll run with it is a positive fucking critique to have.
So we had a 10 to 5 list come in the chat from Scals. Number 10, Steph DeLander. Number 9, Willow Nightingale. Number 8, Masha Slamovich. Number 7, Io Sky. Number 6, Camille. Number 5, Athena. I agree. Great list, Scals.
Does Io Sky count, though, for this list? But during her title reign, was it during the time frame that you said? Because I think she won the belt after it. That's why I didn't include her on my list.
The time frame is a year. It's from last July to this June. Okay. And it doesn't only compare on her winning a title. It compares on the work that she's done. You know, there's different criterias that have to be met, like time in the ring, you know, wins, losses. There's different criterias. So, for example, like the criteria that we went over with the men's list is the same as the women for the women. It's the same for every list. So PWI does a men's 500. They do the women's 250. They do the tag team. The tag team, I believe, is 150. I believe that's for the tag teams, and I believe I'm not sure of this. Will I don't know if or Will or Jax, Sean, Cam, Al, if you know this, they do it for women's tag teams too. I believe I think
it's a top 50 for women's tag. I think it's 150 for men's tag, 250 for women, 500 for men. And they do a top 200 indie, I think. So they do a bunch of weird fucking lists.
And they use the pretty much the same criteria for every list. So Io definitely make it on this list because she's worked during that criteria. We have a question in the chat. What about Asuka? This is by news. What about Asuka? I know that fans hate it, but at least she's entertaining. Guys, do you have any thoughts on Asuka?
I don't necessarily hate Asuka. Like, she is entertaining. I'm just kind of like evened out with Asuka.
She's just not my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy her on screen and I enjoy the work that she does, but she's just not my favorite. Like, I'd love to see just her and Io go after it, but
ooh, I've got a good analogy for this. Mm-hmm. New Japan Pro Wrestling. Asuka is to Okada. Io was to Shinsuke. I prefer Shinsuke's strong style to Okada's strong style. Therefore, I like Io more than I like Asuka. That doesn't take away from how good she is in the ring. It's just differences. You know, we don't yuck any yums. But I prefer that style of wrestling, and I like the eccentric rock star look of Io versus the angry pirate of Asuka. But Kana was a great fucking gimmick in Japan. The heel Asuka, we got like this much of it last year. Like, she was real dangerously close to being the biggest female heel in the wrestling industry.
And they've even mentioned it, I believe it was around like WrestleMania time, that she was showing signs of being Kana. They even mentioned it on
it was Rumble when she came back. She came back with that. It was like they were like, "Oh shit, this is a new version. This is, you know, the angry Japanese, you know, like the mythical Kana." Like, they made it a point to make it this bigger, larger than life character, and then it fizzled out.
And that's what it was. It just went on the back burner, and they stuck with the Asuka name, but she went with the Kana look. And honestly, I don't hate Asuka. She's another one where I honestly I can't grasp on as a fan of her. Like, she does great work. It's just that she's another one that I can't personally grasp onto.
I have a little bit of breaking news.
Sure.
This will probably a buddy of mine's. He's a writer. He's a really good source. In case anyone is wondering, Hollywood Haley J just got caught stripping in Lexington, Kentucky, which might very well fuck up her WWE tryouts coming.
Who? I don't even know who that is. Who?
She's Hollywood Haley J from The Wrestlers on Netflix. She's one of OVW's biggest women's stars.
I love her too.
Okay.
So John,
she had a tryout with WWE. It got canceled because she got COVID, and now apparently it's came out that she has been caught stripping in the area, which might not be a, WWE didn't look at Toni Storm, look at some of the other people. How they've treated women who are in, that style of work. I personally love it. I don't yuck any yums. Do your thing, boo.
So John, there's a documentary on Netflix called Wrestler. Okay, and it was highlighted on OVW, and she is one of the wrestlers in OVW. And a lot of her focus is to get into WWE. It's one of her main focuses, and this breaking news may have very well ruined that for her.
Well, she's not going to do it that way. You got to be smarter than that.
So, but my number 5, did not get to my number 5. My number 5 is Becky Lynch. I put Becky in the middle of this pack because since Becky returned, and I know this dates back about 2 years now, we've seen her become champion, then lose the championship, and then regain the championship, lose the championship again. But then we got her caught into a storyline that, me personally, I didn't find interesting. The whole Trish Stratus storyline, my only thing that interested me was the payoff match in the cage. That was impressive to me. I liked it. Anything else they did before that, from the start to then, just didn't do it for me. I was not a fan of it. And I still feel like, and now Becky Lynch was NXT champion. She lost the title this past Wednesday. And even her short reign as NXT Women's Champion, not a bad reign. And I feel like it was a good follow-up for her coming out of that Trish Stratus storyline, because now they can pretty much hit the reset button for her, and especially coming around to the new year and Royal Rumble season, and do something big with her, get her back into the fold for a major women's championship. So that's my 10 to 5. Does anybody have any comments, concerns, critiques?
Sean, she's your favorite. Where's Becky on your list?
Sean,
we'll get to the rest of my list. We'll get to the rest of my list.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna go from 4 to 1. Now, Al, did you moved around your 4 to 1?
So 4 to 1 would be, I think, as is. Hang on. Let me get back to the list.
So
Hater, Bianca, Julia.
No, my number 4 would be Camille. To be Camille, Bianca, Julia, Rhea.
Okay.
I think Camille, like I said earlier, Camille deserved better than 9th. Nothing against like Jamie Hayter, like she's great, but she's not. I just don't think that her work rate and like what she did in the ring was better than Camille. I think the only reason Camille was ninth and not really second, honestly, you know what? I would put Camille as second. I would go Rhea, Camille,
Bianca, Julia.
Bianca, Julia.
Okay.
I like it.
I like it too. I do. And again, Camille, I feel like is so far down on this list. So far down, especially with that title reign. I mean, and
It's
the
only
work
because
that she
she's in
does.
NWA and not AEW or WWE.
Yeah. And I agree with that. That very well could be the hurt factor. It could be. Cam, you're 4-1.
4-1. 4, I got Bailey. 3, I got Trinity. 2, I got Io Sky. And then my number 1 is Rhea Ripley.
So I like your 4-1. And even though Trinity has only been back a short period of time, she has done a lot of work in Impact. She's made an impact in Impact.
Hi-yo!
I had
King
to
of the dad jokes.
Had to say it. Hey, you know, got to live on the dad jokes. But she has made an impact. She has. And I have yet to see her match with Mickie James. And that's one match that I definitely do want to see. It is definitely one match that I do want to see. And I look forward to seeing it. Sean, you're 4-1.
So my number 4 is, of course, Rhea Ripley. My number 3 is a tie between Deonna Purrazzo and someone I guarantee nobody has on their list, Mariah May from Stardom. She is killing it in Japan. I met her way before, like when she just started wrestling school. I met her at a Raw in New Orleans after WrestleMania. Number 2, Julia. And number 1, of course, is from NXT, Tiffany Stratton. Gotta have my girl at number 1.
Of course.
Wasn't she hurt most of the time for that the criteria was being judged?
Yeah, like she doesn't fit the
John,
criteria at all.
I don't
She's
know,
not
John.
relevant.
She carried NXT on her back.
No,
No, she didn't. She
What?
put NXT to sleep.
You only
You put
say
it
that
to
because she
sleep.
makes you only do that because she makes you pitch a tent in your pants.
No.
What NXT are you watching?
I don't know what
carried
exhaust
NXT
fumes you've been
women's
inhaling.
Shit.
He's watching
has
NXT
carried
After Dark.
NXT Women's Division on her back since Mandy Rose left.
Sean,
She
no.
carries the
way,
NXT
Jose.
division like I carry a sack of bricks up
She
a mouth.
puts it to sleep.
Andy was a.
Sean,
Andy
I like
was
Tiffany
champion,
Stratton, but I don't know
got
what
hurt. Tiffany
exhaust
took
fumes
that
you've been
title
inhaling.
and ran with it.
No.
My man, you have a Tiffany obsession. We need to hold an intervention for you.
My Tiffany epiphany for you is to stop doing whatever drug you
1,
are
2,
doing. So.
3, 4.
Or pass it around.
So this Tiffany intervention, we have 5, 2, 4. We have 6 people here.
Tell
Anybody
me you paid attention to
letter?
the
AA
women's
meeting
division
for Sean now.
Tiffany Stratton as champion. Come on.
I will tell you this. I will give Tiffany Stratton this. She may have the best looking moonsault in wrestling right now.
Oh,
Why
she
would
does.
you want to look at her ass?
I repeat that she has one of the best moonsaults in wrestling right now.
I'll take Gigi
Yeah,
Dolan over
she's
her
ripping off
every day.
Christopher Daniels.
With the double or the triple jump to the top.
Yeah, that's all she's doing is ripping
It
off
was
Christopher
definitely
Daniels.
a Christopher Daniels thing, but she
Oh,
still
man.
looks good doing it. I like her both
Yeah,
way more than I did
does, but
CDs.
it's not the best one. Christopher Daniels will always hold that credit.
Tiffany's great, but she
Right
ain't carried
now,
it.
Angle had a beautiful one too.
Yeah, right now.
Her
So-
angle had the best moonsault.
Oh God.
Yeah, he had a
Kurt's is
gorgeous
amazing.
move.
I don't know about all
man.
that. Yeah.
Cam, I'm gonna need you to watch what
Sean.
you say about Kurt Angle, or I will come lick your face.
He didn't have the best moonsault. I'm sorry. Every time he did it, I thought he was gonna kill himself.
Nah.
But
That's
Now
what
I'm
made
just gonna
it
have
so
to touch your
great.
beard when I see you.
Yeah.
You
I'm
will
just gonna-
lose
I'm
that
just
hand, sir. I don't know why that.
He had that Hayabusa moonsault. Every chance he did it, he looked like he might kill himself or somebody else. And I hate to say that because of what happened to Hayabusa, but that was what made his moonsault so good. It was devastating to watch.
I'll
And it
take,
ended
I'll
up
take
being
Charlotte
his
Flair's
demise.
moonsault off of Kurt's any day of the week. And hers is
I'm
pretty
a
bad.
staunch Charlotte Flair supporter, and I think she has a weak sauce ass moonsault, Bubba. I'm sorry.
So, Sean, my reaction pretty much reflects off of everybody else's reaction to the Tiffany Stratton thing. I am sorry, bud. I love you, but no,
You're bugging.
just
I did-
no.
I did
Just-
think it was very funny when Fallon impersonated her at Halloween Havoc. And
That's
her
the best
reaction.
version of Tiffany Stratton we've ever got on NXT. when Fallon impersonated
She
her.
wasn't
That's
boring.
wild. That's wild.
Tiffany's just boring. She's so boring on the mic. I can't get behind her. She got no personality.
So before we move forward here, we have some top fours in the chat. Number 4, Gigi Dolan. Number 3, Roxanne Perez. Number 2, Thea, and number 1, Fallon. We also got
Tommy,
another
you
one.
cannot pick the girls you think are hot.
I knew it.
Sean
Sean
did?
do it.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
I
never mind.
didn't.
You can't, Tommy, because Sean did it.
Oh man. We also got another one: Deonna Purrazzo, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, and Julia. So,
Well, that's the Julia. Y'all keep saying Julia. I think Julia Hart, and I'm like, there ain't no way.
No.
So
That's the only Julia I know is Hart.
it was a Julia in Stardom.
Okay.
Julia Gulia.
Let's get back on track here. Jax, you're 4-1.
All right. I'm good. I got Bianca Belair as my 4th. My toss up on my 3rd, which I think I've kind of figured it out. I got a toss up on my 3rd between Io Sky and Asuka. I think they're both been, like I said, Asuka. It's whatever about her, but she is entertaining and she has had some really good matches.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't. I'm just like, most of the time I'm like,
You kind of feel a little bit more of a connection with Io.
Yeah, so I'm going to go 3 with Io. Number 2, Trinity. I think she's done amazing work in Impact Wrestling. And yeah, I just think she's done really good work. And here's my shocker for everyone. And she's been said on this list already, but my number 1 pick for my female wrestler of the year is Masha Slamovich.
Okay.
Oh, there
I
we
mean,
go.
All right, because Masha Slamovich, I have watched with Will beat the crap out of herself night in, night out, and give the same match and give it everything she has. So she's proven herself as my favorite wrestler this year.
I'll say this: the first time I ever seen Masha Slamovich, I immediately connected with her. I was like, "Holy crap! I like Masha Slamovich." I can highly agree with your number 1 with her. Again, number 2, Trinity making a huge impact in the short period of time she's been in Impact. Io or Asuka? Again, Io, you kind of feel a little bit more of a connection with in a certain way. Like Asuka, I think is missing that little something to get that personal connection with. Where Io, I don't know if it's more so like that underdog, like you want Io to win. Because again, for the longest time, we wanted Io to win, and then she got Money in the Bank, and then we were just like itching for that cash in. Then she finally does it, and now it's at the point she's champion. And again, I said it, I'm getting this little personal vibe, and you guys may feel different. And I say this every show. That is the great thing about being a fan of this sport is we all have our different views, opinions, and everything.
Except
And
y'all
that's
want
what
to give me an intervention.
Huh?
Said, except y'all want to give me an intervention.
Because you put
You
fucking
need-
Because you're wild, bro.
You're
You are
upset.
bugging.
I mean,
You're
come
I
on.
upset.
told you, I do wild
Bug.
shit.
Listen, like if you had put Thunder Rosa, like I would have been
I
like,
couldn't.
okay,
I couldn't
Yeah.
because she's been injured for like a year and a half.
why
I
not?
will-
But you'll
That's why I
put
didn't put her
somebody who
in the
can't wrestle?
I will say this. If you would have put Thunder Rosa there, I would have been more agreeable about that because, yes, she has not been in the ring for the past year, but she is doing great work outside of the ring.
Yes,
Great
but
work
it's
outside of the ring.
wrestlers. She's not
Yeah.
wrestling at the moment.
But I
So
still would have agreed more with Thunder Rosa than I would have Tiffany Stratton. Just saying.
I was trying to fit the criteria. Okay.
I'm sorry, Sean.
You
but
fit
you're
what
You
criteria?
blew the criteria
God.
away. Like you missed that mark, buddy.
Anyways, to go back to Masha Slamovich, she's a real sweetheart in person as well to talk to and after her match and shit. So if you get a chance to meet Masha, she's a really great person.
And to cover your number 4, Bianca Belair, agree it again. The thing with Bianca is she had that title reign that was kind of like, It was that feeling. And for a while, it was almost like she was showing signs of a heel turn. And I don't know about you guys, but it was almost like you wanted that to happen. Like we're getting it with the Profits. Why not do it with Bianca? Have Bianca be with that group. Hell, we got Rhea with a group. We got Io with a group.
Because she doesn't want to turn heel.
I get it because she's basically the John Cena of the women's division. I get
Even
it.
if she did want to turn heel,
Goddamn.
even if she did want to turn heel, it's literally impossible
Mhm.
because of her WrestleMania entrance.
Yeah.
So that ain't gonna
Yeah,
fly.
I agree.
And the other thing too is she does have a huge fan following. I mean, she'd almost be like that heel that gets cheered.
Right.
You know. John, you're 4-1.
All right, number 4 is Athena, mainly because of her title reign in Ring of Honor. She's having a decent run. Number 3 is Rhea Ripley. I like Judgment Day, but I just think this title reign is really boring. Like we said before, she's all talk. Where's the bite that goes with the bark? I want to see that Rhea Ripley. I want to see the Rhea Ripley that took the NXT title off of badass Shayna Baszler. That's the Rhea Ripley I want to see, not this mommy who's with Dom Dom. Number 2, Bianca Belair. Again, I feel like she had a boring title reign just like Rhea's having right now, but it was a very long one, so I had to take that into an account. And number 1, I'm going with Camille. 812 days as champion. I don't watch NWA, but that's something in itself. That's like being the head of the table of all women's wrestling. 112 days as champion. That's crazy.
So to start this off, you're not going to get the same reaction you got me with your men's list. You're going to get a different reaction.
Oh, you're not going to hate on Claudio this time.
That was fantastic.
But I like your placement of this, especially with Rhea Ripley. Because again, she's just not doing the in-ring stuff. She's more so on the microphone. I agree. She needs to at least break away from Dominic, but with her being in the Judgment Day, it's not going to happen. It's not. I mean, if you look at it, they've teased it a few times, but it's not going to happen. And now she's almost like the leader of that group.
She basically is. She's calling the shots.
Yeah, I mean, she's ordering everybody around like
She's the de facto leader.
Yeah.
What if they get sick of her and replace her with somebody?
No, they better not. They better not.
He said, no way.
I wish that into existence.
The Bianca Belair, agree with that. Over a year as champion. Athena, agree with that. Doing a great job. Camille, agree with that. 813-day reign. Freaking nothing to disagree on that.
Hey, we're on the same page. All right.
Yes, we are. Not gonna lose my shit this time.
Good.
Claudio should have been number 1.
Definitely not gonna. Don't start.
Fine. Claudia Constanoli will be it. Claudia.
Okay. Well, you're 4-1.
Number 4, Trinity. She broke onto the scene at Impact. She immediately became the Impact Knockouts champion. She's ran with it. She's helping bolster, like I said, one of the greatest women's divisions in wrestling. Number 3, Camille Brickhouse. She would be my number one, but the reason why she didn't get it was because the NWA isn't on a viable TV source yet. But the fact, everything that Johnny said, she carried the women's division for over 800 days. Number 2, the biggest women's star in WWE in probably the last 20 years, Bianca Belair. She's dominant. She's finally reached that point in her career where they accept that she's bigger than the title. She doesn't have to have it, but they have to dance around it, which I think is important. Number 1, mommy, Rhea Ripley. Bianca Cena. See here, okay, before I go into my Rhea rant, my Bianca Flair, Bianca Cena, here's the way I look at it. Can you imagine being so good at what you do that you're considered the greatest of all time for doing it? I mean, that would suck, right? So yeah, Bianca got so big and so over that the fans started booing her out of spite, the exact same way they did John Cena, and he was perfectly okay with it.
Yeah. He embraced it.
Number 1, I think why Rhea Ripley is number 1 is for one big reason. She is on TV every week, multiple shows, leading the most dominant faction in WWE. She is booked in her matches to be a priority and to be kind of a spectacle. When Rhea Ripley defends her title on TV, it's always a big deal. When she had that match with Shayna, it was a big deal. When she had the matches with Becky's, they were big deals. Like, my point is, anything she does is gold. Therefore, they don't have to have her defend that belt every week. But she is still there. She's still present. She still carries it, and she's still on TV 2 and 3 times, 53 weeks out of the year. I think that is what makes Rhea Ripley number 1. She's the biggest champion on the most watched shows, the most of anybody else. She deserves the number 1 spot.
Well, hold on a second. If I may intercept.
Go for it.
The Cena. Okay, so this is probably the one time me and Skiles are going to agree on something. The Cena thing that Will just said. I don't think it was. Matter of fact, I know for a fact it wasn't that Cena got so good that they started booing him. No. They started booing him because he started beating everybody he had no business beating, and they kept putting him over. They started booing him because of that. So the Cena-Bianca comparison is because he feels like, now I disagree with this, but he feels like Bianca is being shoved down our throats the same way Cena was. That's the comparison. I just had to put that out there.
You know, Will, when you did that big intro for Bianca, I wanted you to say Tiffany Stratton so bad just to see Sean's reaction.
I actually watch wrestling for like match content and creative and like character work. Like, I don't watch wrestling for my pee-pee. That's what Pornhub is for.
You can't tell me that.
Wow.
Stratton's the best wrestler in the world. Yes, I can.
You can't tell me that she's not talented.
I'm not saying she's not talented, but I'm saying in the world that Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Camille Brickhouse, Trinity, Fatu, Julia, Jamie Hayter, Tom Nakano, Deonna Purrazzo, Athena, that Tiffany Stratton is better wrestler than all of those women.
Listen, Sean. Like I said,
I put her at the top over the Indies because she's in the top company.
No, I don't disagree that she's one of the. Whoa! This isn't the top indie wrestlers. My top female indie wrestler would be Kinsey Page, but this isn't the top indies. This is the top female wrestlers. Tiffany, in a world where Rhea Ripley exists, there's not a
Rhea Ripley does jack shit on TV.
So you're trying to tell me Tiffany is better than Rhea Ripley?
Exactly.
You're on
Tiffany
drugs.
wrestles
I'm
sorry.
more than Rhea.
Oh
does.
shit! Here
She
we go.
defended
You're
the
on drugs.
title
I quit.
more than Rhea did.
You're on drugs. I'm sorry. You're on drugs, sir. Tiffany's talented. Don't get me wrong. But
I'm
better
sorry
than
that-
Rhea?
That I can't connect with anybody that like that on the women's main roster because of the way they're presented on the main roster as opposed to NXT. Shawn Michaels is doing a great job with the women in NXT and showcasing them.
Absolutely.
Doing a great job with everyone.
And
really.
he's done a great job showcasing Tiffany in the last year where she carried that women's division to me since Mandy Rose left because they would have strapped the Rocket to Indy Hartwell, but she got injured. They tried to do it with Roxanne, but it wasn't working. Granted, Roxanne's great. Roxanne's amazing. But Tiffany was the heel that they needed. So she's talented in ring. You may not like her promos, but she does great promos. She annoys you to fuck. That's what she's supposed to do. So she carried that women's division in that time frame. I'm sorry. That's my argument. It's not just because she's hot. Yeah, she's hot. But that's also a factor of her being talented as why I picked her at number one over anybody in the WWE roster and just how my list went. So
I think more importantly,
That's wild.
we need to remember my number one rule, and that is if your thighs don't touch, we don't touch. And Tiffany Stratton doesn't meet that criteria, so she doesn't make my list.
Thank you.
Well, you killed me with the PP line. The first thing I thought of was the
I love you,
famous
Sean, in all seriousness. You know that.
the famous little promo that happened with Mr. Venus back in the 90s. Just
You chop
sticking
chop pee
back
pee.
with your
I
PP.
choppy chop your pee-pee.
Yeah, yeah.
these fuckers, Cam and Heel Mike and all them, call me Val Venus.
Because you are, bro.
You
like,
are,
tell me
though.
why.
The way you talk about certain women all the time, you are.
All right,
Hello, ladies. Bro, that is you to a T, bro.
Yes.
all right. So, one thing that I have different with my 4-1 from everybody is I don't have somebody on my list that everybody has had. So my 4-1.
I completely forgot about you, Mike. I'm sorry. I thought you went already.
I'm never going to be allowed back on the table spot because it's been nothing but fucking chaos with me.
I'm easy to forget. What can I say?
I love you, Mike. I never forget you.
I love you too.
We lost Mike at PP.
Yeah, well, so my 4-1. Number 4, Kenzie Page.
Great pick.
Like I said, Will, you had her on your 10-5 list. She's the one that I had in my top 5. My top 5. Had to put her there. My number 3. Another person, this person is not on anybody's list, which really surprises me. But at the same time, this just goes to show that women's wrestling is fucking amazing. Because you can realistically put maybe anybody from the top 50 on this list. Maybe the top 100 on this list. But my number 3, Jade Cargill.
Great pick.
Over 500 days as TBS champion. And not only that, did probably one of the most smoothest and most energetic, most popular company changes. And not only that, nothing but positivity out of it. Throughout the past month, I have not heard one negative thing said from anybody about Jade Cargill going from AEW to WWE.
Well, that's because they're in WWE now, and all the AEW haters that originally hated her at first for being in AEW is like, oh my God, she's WWE now. She's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Just like when Will was talking about TNA. Like,
Cam, you had something to say?
No, I definitely have been shitting all over that. If you pay attention to what I say on my TikTok page,
Oh, I do.
I've been shitting all over that.
Oh, I do.
So yeah, I've if no one else has been negative about it, I definitely have. So
Well, but you're hearing a hell of a lot more positives. That's the thing. Like, there's not
Fair.
a lot of negative talk about it.
that's fair.
And I understand, like, I really can't sit here and say AEW is on a downfall because I like AEW. But yes, when it comes to the attendances, ratings, all that stuff, yeah, they're having a little bit of a downslope. So be it. But
What
Jade
is it
Cargill,
they say in football? It's a rebuilding year.
yeah. And maybe that's exactly what it is when it comes down to it. That's a great point.
Tony Khan's booking. That's what it is. I don't think he's that good of a booker.
What they need to do is let people like Jeff Jarrett, Adam Copeland, Ric Flair, Dustin Rhodes, whoever they got there, book the show.
Not Ric Flair.
No one wants to see Andrade on top of everything.
I
Nah,
agree
he
with
mad at me.
Jarrett because he's run companies before. Let him have more of a hand backstage.
You let Ric Flair book the shows, Andrade will be a 16-time world champion.
No, he won't. Andrade will be
Can't be worse than Hogan, you know.
My number 2, Rhea Ripley. And my number 1, because she had now, since making this list, she's had 41 title defenses, and she was champion over the 813 days. Camille, my number 1.
I would have chose World Device too, but I didn't.
We have some top 4s in the chat, AJ. His top 4, Jade Cargill, Trinity, Camille, Rhea Ripley, Noob, Kenzie Page at 4, Lowell Vice 3, Natalia Markova at number 2, Jade Cargill at number 1. I honestly tossed up the thought of putting Jade Cargill at 1, but Camille, her reign was longer, and it was more of a, consistent. She's in the same company. Jade making the switch over to WWE, I was a little questionable about putting Jade in the spot that I put her in, but
having Natalia that high, aside from the fact that I know that Noob absolutely loves Natalia Markova, she did have a killer breakout year, and I legitimately thought last night that her and Taylor Rising had a shot at taking those NWA Women's Tag Titles because Natalia Markova is so over right now. So I can get behind her being up there. I don't know if she would have been number 2. Obviously, she wasn't on my list, but respect for giving Natalia love. She deserved it. That's the right Natalia to have on this list.
I would even venture to say that like even Angelina Love has had a killer year as well too in NWA.
For sure.
So, guys, that is it. That is it for our top 10 of who we think should be in the top 10. And that is it for our number 1 of the Table Spot. Thank you for joining us here tonight on the Table Spot. Make sure to hit the follow button on not only Rivet City Radio's Twitch and YouTube channel, but also on Off the Top Media's Twitch and YouTube channel. Make sure to check out all the great content going on, like Nerdy News at 420, Cam G's The Boom, Princess Movie Madness, Rivet City Red Zone, Botched and Chair Shots, and all the great content going on through the networks. Hit the follow button, subscribe, turn the notifications on, and check out all the great content going on. John, we appreciate you for coming in tonight.
Thank you for having me back.
And I'll get my thing switched up here. So I have your social medias on the bottom here. So everybody can head over to Johnny H's social medias, hit that follow button, check out all his content. And John, do you want to shout out to where everybody can find you on the networks?
All right. Sunday mornings, 11 o'clock, Rivet City Red Zone. Don't forget that special Rivet City Red Zone Monday morning quarterback tomorrow at 8 a.m.
Yes. So, John, we appreciate you coming in for the segment.
Thank you very much.
And we will see you at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning for Rivet City Red Zone.
Nice seeing you guys again.
John, it was good to see you, bud.
John.
Great seeing everybody again.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to head into hour number 2, segment number 2. And we are waiting waiting on our second special guest for this evening for the
Yeah,
table spot.
she might be a little late. She's trying to. She kind of had people over, so when she gets here, we can just jump right in with her.
Well, the thing is this is the only thing I actually have planned for hour number 2, which is the.
Right. Well, I'm just saying we can go ahead with ours, and then whenever she joins in, she could do hers real quick.
So, give me 1 second here.
Fucking cats.
Did you see the private chat, though, Mike? So, little commercial.
So, guys, what we are going to do is we are going to be doing a Crown Jewel. We're going to talk about Crown Jewel. We're going to make our predictions for the show and who we think is going to win what match. And our special guest will be coming in about 2 seconds here because stupid me needs to get glasses and couldn't see the link properly. I thought.
What's up, Mateo? We're at the end of the table spot, Bubba. We've got about 45 minutes left here in this episode, and then we'll be back into some subathon stuff around 11 o'clock Central Time. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say.
Words are hard, man.
We're 3 hours and 12 minutes in already, sir.
Yes.
My question is, Mateo, one, I don't care if you have a shirt or not. I'll take my shirt off.
No, I do.
Love you, Scouts. Good night.
We're taking them off?
When Matt comes on at 11 o'clock, we'll take them off. My question is, Mateo, while we wait for Sammy, did it happen? Did it happen, Matt?
What are we talking? Is somebody going nudie?
I want to know. He said he had plans for tonight. There was a list of things that was going to happen, and it was like thing A is going to happen, thing B is going to happen. Boom, then boom. I'm curious to see if it happened. I'm not airing his laundry out, but I want to know if my boy,
See you, Scouts.
So you're just waiting to get a yes or a no. Have a good night, Scouts. You're just trying to get a yes or no.
Right, Scouts.
Woo! Round of applause! Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
I think I want to know. So
You don't.
It's okay.
It's not my show, so I'm not going to just, go completely R-rated.
If you want to go R-rated,
We're off the rails, so go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Matt's plan was to have some family time.
Okay.
Put the kids to bed, get his wee wet, and then he's going to come on the subathon after the table spot.
Lucky.
Hide the pickle.
Lucky.
He had to Totally Killer. Yeah, they were going to watch Totally Killer too.
If y'all haven't watched that movie, you should watch it. It's on Prime.
Boom.
It's hilarious.
Totally Killer.
I want to see
Oh, I've seen that movie. My dad was watching it, and I randomly just
So
watched it.
good. It's so good.
I'm hyped for you, Mateo.
Cool.
I'm gonna watch Five Nights at Freddy's tonight, though. That's what I'm gonna be watching.
Also, if you haven't watched The Fall of the House of Usher, it is also very good. A little effed up, but it's good.
I kind of wish it was because I've heard about that, Allison, and I was hoping it was a movie versus a TV show because I got too much TV shows to watch.
It's only 8 episodes.
So I keep saying that they had a missed opportunity to have Usher in the cast.
No, Sean.
No.
No.
7 o'clock.
No, I mean, Kim, it's honestly like one of those things that like it's so fucked up you're not gonna want to watch it straight through. So I would suggest like maybe watching 2 episodes and then taking a break. And then because it's
Bo, are you okay? You
it's
just
fucked
hopping?
up.
Okay.
All right. So, guys, we're gonna get into the Crown Jewel talk and our predictions and picks. When Sammy comes in, we will get her picks.
Yes, Jax.
So, what?
Bo's got something to say.
Jax has his hand up.
Go ahead.
Okay. Mike, I know I don't mean to ask this on your show, but how excited are you for The Godfather later? How excited are you? Mike, I've been looking forward to this moment. It feels like my whole life.
Listen.
To get to experience the the orgasm of your eyes is just magical to me.
So here's the thing: is I watched the preview for this movie, and it just did not catch my eye. Did not.
Oh, it's going to catch your eye. Your whole face.
I mean, a bet's a bet.
I love you, Mike.
Deal's the deal. I'm not going anywhere, so you know.
So you're pretty much stuck with it. I'm gonna during this 48 hours, once we go off air and we're just kind of hanging out, I'm turning Twisted Metal on, and I'm going to binge the entire first season of Twisted Metal because I haven't seen it yet.
Dude, it's so good.
Yeah,
It's okay. It wasn't necessarily my cup of tea, but it's
I
alright.
loved it. It was fucking great. Loved it.
I love how we're all praising it, and Cam's like, yeah, it's okay.
I'm
It's
a huge fan of Anthony Mackie. I think he is one of the most underrated actors. Like Anthony Mackie just does great.
Dude, I'm going to the Nerd on Halloween for a wrestling show. They're gonna have Sweet Tooth's fucking ice cream truck there to take pictures with. I'm fucking getting a picture with that.
So, guys, our first match that we're going to get into for Crown Jewel, John Cena is taking on Solo Sikoa. Now, we've seen John Cena come back because of everything going on in Hollywood, the writer strike, the actor strike. So, John Cena comes back, and about a week or so ago, as we're getting into the Crown Jewel talk, our guest is here. We welcome to the stage and the table spot, Sammy. Sammy, welcome yet again to the table spot. Sammy.
She's getting ready.
Sorry, I couldn't hear
she's
you.
putting
guys.
her
Sorry.
pants on.
So we welcomed you to the table spot. Welcome back to the table spot. Thank you for coming in tonight. Appreciate it. We are getting into the Crown Jewel talk. Our thoughts and predictions on who we think is going to win the matches. But as I was saying, John Cena came back and pretty much told Roman Reigns that he didn't feel like he was, he didn't feel right about challenging for the championship yet, but he pointed out that he feels another guy, obviously, LA Knight. We'll get into LA Knight Roman Reigns in a couple minutes. But right now, John Cena, it was announced, John Cena will be taking on Solo Sikoa at Crown Jewel in a singles match. So we are going to start things off with Jax. Jax, your thoughts, John Cena, Solo Sikoa, and who do you have winning this match?
I have John Cena.
John Cena.
Oh my God.
That's who I have. I can see him putting Solo over, but not in Saudi. No.
Sammy, I need
Yes.
you and Al. I need both your attention real quick. Okay. Sammy, I need you to tell me that the book is due back on Thursday, and then Al, I need you to tell me if I'm late again, I have detention.
Oh my God.
I noticed we all have glasses except
Mike.
Except for Mike. Just like we
I'm
all
not
have
real
hair
minor to
except for
stop me from
Mike.
getting headaches.
All the men on the network have facial hair except for Mike also.
Oh. Okay, Terminator.
Oh, too different? Okay. It's fine.
I'm from the future.
But Jax, as you were saying, John Cena, you got John Cena winning this match.
No Cena.
Okay. Any thoughts or anything on this one? Reason why John Cena's going to win?
It's
Just
Saudi.
about-
It's a mega show. Send the fans home happy. It gives John Cena the win. There's no real logical behind it kind of thing on this one.
It's John Cena. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, I mean,
Dun, 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 dun,
it
dun.
makes sense for Cena to win because they're trying to show like the breakdown and demise of the bloodline. So if they keep being losers, that furthers the breakdown, which is what we need to get back to Cody and Roman at WrestleMania. Like we need the bloodline to lose and have these breakdowns. Like he's going to lose because Jimmy Uso is going to try to interfere and it's going to fuck it up.
Yeah.
So, Al, is this you saying that John Cena's going to win?
Yes, John Cena's going to win.
Okay. All right. Let's go, Will. Will. John Cena, Solo Sikoa, who do you think's winning this one?
I think John Cena's going to win because he's John Cena, and they're going to Saudi, and the government paid for John Cena to win.
That is a good point, Will. Very good point.
Let's go with our guest of this hour number 2, Sammy. Solo Sikoa and John Cena.
I don't know. I want to say John Cena is going to win, but I think they're going to give it a Solo. I really think they are. I love John Cena, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's going to win.
I believed in Santa Claus a long time ago, too.
Right, Athena, huh? Yeah, she agrees.
John, who you got? Cena, Solo.
I'm gonna go with John Cena. Like Will said, it's a bot show. It's Saudi. They run the shots pretty much. It's gonna be Cena.
Okay.
Cam,
Oh, my attention.
Cena or Solo?
I am the president of the John Cena anti-John Cena hate club since 2007, but I'm going to go with John Cena here. They're not going to have him lose again. He hasn't had a win since whatever he said, so they're obviously trying to build him up for something special. Probably another run at Roman Reigns eventually. And yeah, they're not going to have him lose to Solo Sikoa.
2019.
You just broke Katie's heart by saying that you were the president of the John Cena.
I'm the president. I've been the president since 2007. I'm sorry.
She's that's her goat. So you just ripped her little heart out.
I mean, I'm sure we'll see Cena and Roman at Rumble since that's going to be his next PLE.
John Cena hasn't won a match since 2019. 2019. 3 years.
Sammy, what is that beautiful beast's name?
Athena.
Athena?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Athena.
She can't hear you. I'm at your piece in.
Tell her I said hi and that I love her.
She looks just as calm as Caesar would be. Caesar's actually sleeping.
Yeah, she's like passed out. She wouldn't move over a little bit, so she like just moved a nudge I can fit in, and then just laid right on top of me. Huh.
So I honestly am gonna go with Solo Sikoa on this one. I have a feeling that Solo's gonna win this one. I understand it's a Saudi show. I understand John Cena. I understand John Cena could still realistically be the face of the company, but at the same time, if you think of it, Roman Reigns has been on top for the past 3 years. Solo Sikoa is part of that bloodline, and he's young talent. I think Solo winning this match would give him that little bit of the push. I think Solo comes out with the win. We have a second singles match. Cody Rhodes is taking on Damian Priest. So, Cam, Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, who do you got?
Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest. I'm going to say Cody Rhodes. I think Damian can take a loss here. Right now, he's on top of the world with Judgment Day. He's got a tag belt. He's got a Money in the Bank briefcase. So he can take a loss and be okay. Cody Rhodes right now needs something to continue to build this weird, twisted road back to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. So, yeah, I think it's going to be Cody Rhodes.
Okay. Al, Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest.
It's probably going to be Cody. You know, like Cam said, they've got to build this road back to Roman, which doesn't make sense why they took the tag titles off of him and Jay, because there was your road. Let's take a sharp turn to the left. But yeah, and we do have to see, the Judgment Day's demise is coming. Like they are starting to do little cracks here and there, and so like they're gonna have to start losing at some point. And Cam's right; it won't hurt Damian to lose to Cody. And Botched show again, they're gonna want Cody to win.
Sean, Cody, Damian.
What they should have done is put the Money in the Bank briefcase on the line. So it makes sense again for Cody to get back on the road to fucking Roman since they took the titles off of him. But like Cam said, it's okay for Damian to lose. He has the briefcase. He has Judgment Day. He has the tag titles. So Cody's going to take the win since Cody's been losing lately, I guess. So.
Okay.
Jack.
Yes, sir. That's me.
Yes, sir.
That's me. That's me. Same question. Okay. I'm a Cody guy. I'll go with Cody. Win, lose, draw. Like, I don't. Even if it's painted out in the picture that he's losing, I'm still picking Cody. I've been a fan for a long time.
Oh, Steve.
All right. Sammy.
I'm gonna say Cody Rhodes. I think Cody's gonna road, like they said, on his way to Roman Reigns. So, and I don't like Damien that much. So Cody Rhodes. They need to Judgment Day needs to start going against each other and start fighting again like it did before. So.
Well, Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest.
Cody Rhodes. I still hope that at the demise of the Judgment Day, because they're not doing the lose the briefcase to somebody thing like they love to do. I hope that there was some shenanigans that was pulled when they did the briefcase change. I hope that Finn swapped the contracts out with JD McFunko Pop. So now he doesn't even have a contract. It's just a fake briefcase. And when he goes to cash it in, they'll be like, oh, fuck, there's not a contract here. Who has it? Finn does.
It'll be Nickelodeon slime when he opens it up.
Yeah. I still hope they do something cool like that. So I'm going to say Cody wins here because I think that Damian will cash in between here and Royal Rumble, and that'll be the catalyst that breaks Judgment Day. His cash in, whether or not Finn switched the contracts or not, his cash in will be the catalyst that splits up Judgment Day.
So I'm going to go Cody Rhodes as well because, as it was pointed out, because it's John Cena, it's Saudi John Cena. I think Cody's more so in that role now. Also, as far as the briefcase being on the line, we still have the go-home show of Monday Night Raw. So it's not too late for them to actually make that stipulation happen. And they can make that happen tomorrow night on Raw. Definite possibility. Maybe. Don't know. But either or, I'm going to go Cody as well because I think he's the more so the new John Cena when it comes to these promo events that happen overseas in Saudi and everything. So we're going to move forward to the United States Championship. Rey Mysterio was challenged by Logan Paul after Logan Paul had his fight. Rey Mysterio was at the Rams game about a week later saying, Logan Paul, bring it on. You get your shot. So the U.S. title is on the line. Rey Mysterio defending against Logan Paul. Sean, your pick, Logan Paul.
Oh, you're starting with me, huh?
Oh yeah, I had to. I just had to. Had to happen.
Do I have to take my headset off and walk off again? Do I?
I mean,
throw back to the previous before time, but I'm going to go because I know it's going to happen. As much as I want Ray to win, it's too hype. They're going to put the title on Logan fucking Paul, especially after his recent fucking fight that he had. So it's going to be Logan Paul for the U.S. champion.
All right. Cam, who do you got?
As much as I don't want it to happen, it's definitely going to be Logan Paul. Now, again, as I said earlier, I don't think it'll be a long reign for Logan Paul, but it's one of those, how can I put it? I guess like hot tag kind of things, where they're going to put it on the biggest, most controversial figure they can put it on. In this case, it'd be Logan Paul. They're trying to make that title as important as the Intercontinental Championship and what Gunther has done with that championship. So, but it'll only be for the time being because I don't expect Logan to win this match and then him defend the championship every single Friday night or whatever, or be on every single show. It's probably not going to happen. More than likely, it's not going to happen. So I don't see him going into Mania with the title still. I think he'll drop the title probably at the Rumble to LA Knight, hopefully. But yeah, it's definitely going to be Logan Paul.
All right. Will, Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio for the U.S. title.
I have to admit it. I think I'm going to go Logan Paul here. This is a TKO Endeavor decision because I think what they're doing is with the investment holdings and all of that and putting eyes on products and such, Logan Paul is going to have that belt everywhere he goes, every fight press conference, every Prime signing, everything that man does, he will show up with that WWE title belt. And that's why Logan Paul is going to be Rey Mysterio.
All right. Al.
It's going to be Logan Paul because, the things that Will said, and it's good marketing for them. And they need it right now, especially with, all of their deals changing and what have you. So, it also, again, like I said, a Botched, like it's a good transition, to put it on somebody else without making Ray potentially have to go after somebody in LWO.
Hi.
All right. Sammy.
My baby Logan Paul is going to win. That's all I have to say. Rey Mysterio, it's a boring reign with him. I'm just bored with him having the U.S. title, so it's going to be Logan Paul.
I think Sammy picks wrestlers the same way Sean does.
No, I like Logan Paul. He's a good wrestler.
See, Sammy, earlier they absolutely lambasted me for picking Tiffany Stratton as number one on the list of wrestlers.
Number one women's wrestler in the world, apparently.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
Just
in
flat
the
out,
world.
no, that's not right.
Like, honestly, Sean, I'm surprised you didn't even put Nikita up there.
She's been hurt. I've been trying to do the criteria. She's been hurt. I would have put Nikita if she was.
But I don't think Tiffany met the criteria either.
Yeah, she did.
No, she didn't because she was out.
She was out.
No, she wasn't. She was. She came
when
back.
Did she come back?
Last year.
When?
And was it September?
We'll pull up her.
I'm already on it. Nikita Lyons.
So why you guys do that?
Katie says it's not a cinnamon toast crunch match. Ray is gonna lose.
Oh, you do that, Jax. Who you got?
Yes. I got Logan Paul. Logan Paul right now is money and everything. I'll piggyback on what Will said. Impulsive, Prime signings, boxings, movie premieres, like TikToks. Anything he's touching, that big ass WWE logo is going to be involved, and that's sometimes what a company needs. Basically the belt. I don't think he's going to do anything for the belt as much as he's going to do with trying to get different eyes on the company. So my pick's Logan Paul.
Okay, so Tiffany came back in January of this year.
You're so good.
I'll try.
So that's still 6-7 months of criteria.
Okay.
Nikita had 20 matches during the period that she was eligible to have criteria. 20.
That's enough to judge.
2-0. She hasn't had a match since January 17th of this year, and that was around the time she got injured.
Yeah, I don't know. It just felt longer that she's been out. I don't know why.
8 months. 9 months because of math.
So I'm going to also say Logan Paul. I know a lot of people are against me on this one, but I'm going to say, and everybody's agreeing Logan Paul. But what I mean by against me on this one is I feel like his reign is going to be longer than people think. I think he's going to hold this till WrestleMania and realistically finalizing with LA Knight. I think it's going to be LA Knight, Logan Paul, United States title, WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. I think that's what's going to happen. Because Logan Paul, if he has a short reign, the thing is with this whole Endeavor deal going on, yes, it's going to put eyes on the company, eyes that have never been there before, the big WWE logo on that belt, everything that was pointed out. If you have Logan Paul even having the belt for 30 days, it's going to help a little. They're looking for that, a lot of help. To have him hold that belt until WrestleMania, is that a lot of help? Why? Because he's going to be on different shows, but he's going to have other fights between now and then. Also, again, his podcast, movies, TV shows, everything he's out there on. And he has the freedoms to do it. Where the superstars right now, again, we talked about it earlier with having to rework contracts and everything like that. We don't know what they're initially allowed to do yet. Logan Paul can do anything he wants, which is going to help put things on the map. And that is why I feel like he's going to have a longer reign than thought of. Move forward. The Women's World Championship is on the line. Rhea Ripley is defending her championship in a fatal five-way against Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and Raquel Rodriguez. Sammy, let's start with you. Who do you got in this fatal five-way?
You're muted, Sammy.
You're muted, Sam.
Thank you. Sorry, she's been making noises. I'm gonna say Rhea because I think the Demon's gonna lose, but to Cody Rhodes, they need someone from Judgment Day to like win a match that night. So, and I think Shayna. I think if it was 1-on-1, I think it would be Shayna would be like the best person to beat her for the title. But right now, if it's a 5-on-5, I think it's just gonna be Rhea, in my opinion.
All right. Cam, who you got in this fatal five-way?
So first off, I just want to say that I love how every competitor that's in this match going against Rhea, it kind of wraps up everything they've done with that championship into a nice little bow. So anybody who's even been close to the championship or been around the championship storyline, it's all just kind of in the same match. So I definitely like that a lot. This has the potential to be a banger. Now, would I have preferred to just be Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler 1-on-1? Sure. But no, in no way, shape, or form is Rhea Ripley losing that championship right now. I think eventually we get Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler 1-on-1 somewhere down the line, maybe Survivor Series. I'm not sure. But I'm going to say Rhea Ripley. I don't think she's red hot right now, regardless of what anybody says. She's not losing that championship.
All right. Jax, who you got? Fatal five-way.
Nia Jax. No, not really. No.
Oh, I almost walked off.
I don't see. There's a lot of powerhouses in this match. It's going to be one to watch, but I don't see Rhea dropping it in Saudi.
Okay, Sean.
No, I'm really gonna pick Nia because you just. No, I'm just kidding. I'm picking Rhea because it's going to be another 6 months of a boring title reign till WrestleMania. So it's going to have to be Rhea, unfortunately.
Okay. Will?
Rhea Ripley by 1 million. Not even close. It'll be a good match, maybe. I think this might be the lowest ranked match on the card.
Ooh. Okay.
They're phoning it in.
Ow.
It's going to be Rhea because they're not going to have her lose her title in a group match. Like, they're literally phoning this in. It's like, oh, fuck, we need some women to take to Saudi with us, so they can have to wrestle in fucking, jumpsuits and not their actual gear, but I digress. And I agree with Sean. Her title reign has been boring. All she does is stand on the side of the ring during the men's matches holding her title. I said what I said. Gonna win, and they're not building anybody up to even have a good enough story to take it off her. Like, Shayna would be a viable option, but we literally never see her. So
I agree with you on that because if you think of it, out of her match with Ronda Rousey, it was like, okay, are we going to get this badass Shayna Baszler again? Is she coming back to her old ways? And literally that died off within a week.
yeah, because they didn't put her on TV because we can only have one fucking women's match on each show.
And then what? 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, we have her come out when all the women start coming in and like, oh, I beat Ronda Rousey. Okay, what have you done since?
Literally nothing.
I'm going Rhea Ripley on this as well. I don't think they're going to have her lose this belt at this time. I think honestly, I think this is gonna culminate down to her and Shayna at Mania, and I think Shayna's gonna finally get that WrestleMania moment she should have had at WrestleMania 36 when she lost to Becky. I know I'm long terming it here, but I feel like that's
long-term booking.
Yeah. The World's Heavyweight Championship is on the line. Seth Rollins is taking on Drew McIntyre. Now, Cam, I'm going to start with you. Me and you had a little bit of an extensive conversation about this last week. And after the show, I sat back and thought about a lot of the stuff that you said. And I was like, man, you really, really made a lot more sense with everything you talked about. So, Cam, we're going to start with you. Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, world title. Who do you got?
This is tough because
Thank you for the sub, Matt. Thank you for the sub.
This is tough because Seth Rollins right now is on an amazing run right now. But I feel like they're going to start running into a wall with him because I think he's already run through the top talent, unless they're going to build up some mid-card guys to be, viable enough to go up against Seth Rollins. Drew, on the other hand, now I made this clear, the extensive conversation that we had. I'm not a Drew fan. I just think right now he's just kind of bland, kind of boring. A lot of people are saying turn him heel. Maybe that's going to fix the issue with him being boring. I don't know. He has been somebody who has carried the main card or carried the main event scene on his back twice, and both times there were no fans. Once was in the Thunderdome. Before that, it was the Mania with no fans at all. Not even the Thunderdome. So I think what they're doing with this is they're running it back, and they're wanting to give Drew his moment with fans because he's earned that. And I'll give him that. He's earned that because he's worked his ass off. Now the contract situation with him, I don't know where that's going. I don't know if he's going to re-sign or not. I have no idea. So I'm assuming if he doesn't re-sign, then I don't see him winning this match. But if they have something written up for him and they have a real plan to push him with fans now, then Drew is 100% winning this match. So it's really a coin toss. But I'm going to go McIntyre, even though I'm probably wrong. But I'm going to go McIntyre with this. I think they're wanting to give him his moment.
I think honestly with this whole card, this is probably the hardest match to pick out of.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt. We love you.
It's a great.
We love you, Matt.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for the 6-month sub. Sean, let's go with you. Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. Who you got?
Okay. Don't hate me for my pick for Tiffany, all right? If I say this, all right? Seth is going to win. Drew is going to turn heel after the match. Damian Priest is going to cash in.
Now, see, Sean, that's a viable option.
That honestly is. That honestly, I wouldn't have worried about whether somebody hates that idea or not because that's actually not a bad scenario. It's not. So you're saying
Seth honestly, to me, can't make it to WrestleMania with his injuries. He can't. It's got to put the time to cash in. Put Drew on. It's a big Saudi pay-per-view. They treat it like fucking WrestleMania or SummerSlam or Rumble or whatever. That's how they treat it in Saudi. That's a perfect time for a cash in.
So you're going Seth Rollins winning and Priest ultimately cashing in.
Yes.
Okay.
That'll be my extra point for that match.
Okay. Al, let's go with you. Drew McIntyre.
I don't know. Like, honestly, I'd be okay if either one of these guys won. I do think that they're going to give it to Drew because I would assume that they want to keep him and they need to do something to make him happy or he's going to leave.
So you're saying Drew McIntyre?
Yeah.
Okay. Jack.
Yeah.
Who you got?
I say Seth Rollins. I think he drops it at Elimination Chamber.
Ooh, right before WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who he drops it to? Or who do you think he drops it to?
I think it's a perfect time for Priest to cash in. And we haven't had a cash in at Elimination Chamber since Edge.
Ooh, look at you with the history books.
Yeah.
Rewrite the history.
New Year's Revolution. Edge cashed in. Cena after the Chamber match. Yeah.
Right
learned a
after
lot
the
from
match,
Will.
too. Right after the Chamber match.
Yeah. It's a good call. Will, who you got?
You know, listening to everybody talk, I'm going to pick Seth Rollins, but listening to what Cam said and then what Al said, okay, combining those two together to go from the opposite of him winning the title in a empty arena with nobody there to watch to taking him to a botched show in front of fucking 60 or 70,000 fans, whatever it's going to end up being, and having him beat, you know, Seth Rollins to become the second person to hold that world's title. Like, that would be a pretty redeeming moment for him to win in front of a crowd like that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick Seth Rollins because I agree. I think he loses it either at Mania or somewhere in between there on a good kick. But I think Drew winning is a very viable option because they kind of owe him one. And what Al said about them wanting to make sure they make him happy, like that makes complete sense. And this is the chance to do it.
Yeah. Sammy, Seth or Drew?
I think Seth. I've always liked Seth. Seth's like my number 2. And I don't give a shit about Drew, I guess. So that's
Fair
it.
enough.
He can leave if they want to do something. He can leave. Bye.
Bye.
Tell us how you really feel.
Bye, Felicia.
So again, hard matchup to pick from. This is probably the hardest match on the card to pick. Even having a women's fatal 5-way match, 5 competitors for 1 championship, this is still probably the hardest match to pick from because great points all around. Seth has been a viable world champion. Drew McIntyre hasn't won in front of a crowd, deserves that spot. Al made a great point with, keep him happy if you want to have him sign. And then you got the wild card of Damian Priest with the briefcase. Tough decision. But I feel like Seth is walking out as champion. And I think I'm not going to put this down as an XP, but I'm just going to say this, that Priest is going to have another one of his backstage fits of I lost to Cody, I'm pissed, I'm using my thing, and Rhea's going to talk him out of it again. We're going to see that. Seth's still champion. We go to our main event. The undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defending against L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
You skipped Io and Bianca.
I got one. Huh?
Skipped Io and Bianca.
Were they on the card?
Yeah.
Okay, well then let's go Io Bianca. We'll go Io Bianca. I honestly missed that.
I didn't even know that match was on the card, to be honest with you.
I looked at the card earlier today and I was like, oh my, I didn't see it on there. But we'll go with it. Al, Io and Bianca.
I think Io is going to retain here with Bianca just coming back. I don't think it's the time to take a belt off of Io and just give it to Bianca. Like, I love Bianca, don't get me wrong, but like, she doesn't need the belt as much as Io does. It's just not like they haven't built up the story enough.
So you're going with Io?
Yes.
Okay. Sammy?
I'm going with Bianca. I love Bianca. I think she's a better champion than Io is. So, and she's back, and I think she's gonna win it. And maybe something like if she doesn't win, it's only because of friggin' Bailey will interfere somehow. But I really think Bianca's gonna win it.
All right, Sean.
And I think the crowd likes Bianca too over there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, when she was over there last, I mean,
Last year.
Yeah, she was. I believe she got a pretty good reaction.
Yeah,
being over there last time. So again, she's one of those fan favorite competitors. She's one that even again, if you wanted to turn heel and she turned heel, she'd still get cheered, and that's bottom line. Sean,
it's WWE. They're gonna give it to Bianca, but Sammy said something similar. Bailey's gonna interfere, and it's gonna inadvertently cost Io the championship, and that starts their feud in the demise of Damage Control.
okay, so you got Bailey costing Io and Bianca winning it.
Yeah.
Cam.
It's sadly blatantly obvious. I think they're going to go with Belair to take the title off Io. I like Bianca, but she's kind of turning into Flair if she continuously keeps, getting out of the main event scene and away from the championship, and then she's right back in it, gone again, back in it. It's the same thing Flair does. So she's really no different than that, and I don't like how they're booking her that way. But obviously, I think the money feud they want to go with going forward is Belair and Flair again. So, but I'm gonna go. You know what though? But I'm gonna go against the grain, and I'm gonna say Io retains, even though I know deep down I'm wrong. But I'm gonna say Io Sky retains. Io right now I think is killing it. I think she's a great champion. So I'm gonna say Io Sky.
Jax?
I'm going Io Sky. I want to see the reign go a little longer. I don't think Charlotte and Bianca need a belt to make that feud work. I don't know how they would get to it, but a better feud would be Io and Bailey than I think anything for the belt. So I'm going to go Io Sky. Final answer.
We had in the chat, yes, this match was announced on SmackDown, and Bianca doesn't need the title. She just came back. Let Io have some time with the belt. I have some thoughts on this, but Will, I'm going to let you go ahead first. Your pick on this match, and then I'll give my thoughts.
Bianca wins the title back. I have zero doubt in my mind there. I think that she wins it. I'm trying to look it up. Didn't she lose the belt to Asuka in Saudi at Night of Champions?
Bianca Belair?
Yeah.
Yes.
She lost to Asuka in Night of Champions in Saudi. Yeah. She'll beat Io in Saudi to win it back. Because that's right, because they debuted the new title like the next night after she lost it. So this will be her redemption story. So she'll get to win the belt back that she shouldn't have. That'll be how they do it. She lost it in Saudi. She wins it back in Saudi.
This is another toss-up matchup, I think, because of Bianca's last reign. Again, it wasn't much of a huge reign. Io is... yes, she's facing Charlotte. Yes, she's facing Asuka, defending the belt against them. Triple threat matches, singles matches, having good matches. But it's against the same people. We're not seeing different competitors. I think I agree. They hit the reset button with this championship, put it on Bianca, and I think Bianca has a different type of reign this time. I think it would be this time around that they do it right with Bianca, because her first reign wasn't bad. It wasn't long, but it wasn't bad. But this last reign was just, it was a long reign, and it wasn't much to really be big on. And I think they yeah, like Will said, they had Bianca drop it in Saudi. I think she picked it up in Saudi. Now we move on to our main event. Undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defends against LA Knight. So we're going to just get right into it. We're going to start with Al. Roman Reigns or LA Knight?
I mean, we all know that it's going to be Roman Reigns. And he's going to win dirty, and he's going to win because Solo Sikoa and Paul and Jimmy are going to do some shady shit, and there's going to be a ref distraction, and the ref's going to get knocked out just when LA Knight's going to go in for the pin, and Roman's going to come to before the ref does, and then he's going to Superman punch LA Knight, and then the ref's going to see it, and Roman's going to win.
All right. Jax, Roman Reigns, LA Knight.
Roman Reigns. The story of Roman Reigns isn't finished until Cody takes it from him.
All right. Will.
My brain says Roman, but my heart wants LA Knight. But I don't think this is the time for Roman to drop the belt, so he'll keep it.
All right. Sammy?
Same thing as Will said. But to be honest with you, I don't think they're going to be dirty. I don't think it's going to be a dirty match this match. Because, like, LA Knight, I do like him, but Roman, he's a better wrestler, I want to say, than LA Knight. LA Knight might have all the fans' attention, everyone wanting him to win. But I really think Roman's going to win, and it's not going to be dirty. If anything, be like Paul, like, making a scene. But besides that, I don't think it's not going to be dirty at all, I don't think. Because the Usos can't leave, can they? Can the Usos go out?
Yeah.
They can.
Because they were over there last time, yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be a dirty. He's actually win it clean with LA Knight. I really do.
With the Usos, the last time they were over there, they actually were the ones to pin Roman Reigns. His first pin in since 2019. December 2019. Cam.
Damn.
Roman Reigns, LA Knight.
So I got multiple problems with this match. One, I feel like they are pushing LA Knight into the main event scene too soon. I think he needs a run at the United States Championship or Intercontinental Championship, trade him to Raw, whatever.
Oh, please be IC.
Before that, yeah, I know you hate Gunther. Anyway, but as I was saying, they need they're doing this backwards, and they should have pushed him to the main event scene first, or the mid card scene first, and then the main event scene. And right now he's red hot. Like I said, he's the people's champion right now. Everyone loves him. He gets the biggest pop on the show. Yada yada. But like I said, the big bad wolf right now in Roman Reigns, I think, is going to crash that whole party. And you have the potential to ruin or stunt his growth, to stunt his popularity. To Sammy's point, if he wins clean, I feel like that just makes LA Knight look like a chump to me. And like I said, they've really booked themselves into a corner with this match because they need to do something different. We don't. I think a lot of people can attest to this. We don't want to see another Roman ending. And I'm a big Roman fan. I love Roman. I love the work he's doing right now. Don't get me wrong, but we don't want to see another Finn. Jimmy gets involved. Solo gets involved. Like, we've seen that already. We shouldn't have to see this with LA Knight, one of the hottest superstars right now. They need to do something different. So they need to get creative. They got a few options. All of them relatively suck, but it's better than another interference and loss. Like, they got to do something different. So I said all that to say this. There's no way in hell LA Knight's walking out with the title. Roman Reigns is retaining. The story is not finished.
John?
First off, Cam, the only big bad wolf here is me. No. Unfortunately, we're gonna get another boring few months of Roman Reigns as champion. But I'm gonna go back to my original when I started doing this show way back on the other channel about being wildly predictive. I'm gonna throw something out there that nobody thought of. Who recently just got granted to release from MLW?
Lance and Hawaii.
There you go. They can, because I don't see Roman fully trusting Jimmy yet. Solo can still interfere, but he's dealt with fucking John. He's dealing with John later now. Why not call up Lance? Why not call up Lance and Hawaii? Maybe even throw in Juicy Fanu. Bring them in. Don't have to be long term, or you can sign Lance. Don't matter. It'll freshen out the bloodline with new members.
Jimmy is this year's Sami Zayn. It's literally the same story.
Yeah.
Just with Jimmy.
So you're going.
I'm going Roman. Yeah.
Roman on this one.
Yeah.
So I came up with a scenario for this, and I know the whole like finishing the story for Cody going after Roman, but at the same time we do have a second world championship, and I've come to accept a little bit, not fully, the fact that we have two world titles, but whether I'm happy with it or not, it doesn't matter. It's going to be there. I'm going LA Knight on this because I think we can get LA Knight against John Cena at WrestleMania.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
I know nobody wants it, but I feel like it's a curveball that they can throw at us because I think we're going to get Roman and Rock, and they're not going to have Roman work two matches. So why not have
Roman and Rock?
What's that?
I don't think we're getting Roman and Rock. I don't.
Yeah, isn't that strike over anyways?
Yeah, we're gonna lose John once the actor strike is over.
Yes,
we'll lose John Cena. Like, he's not gonna be around until Mania. There's not a chance.
But the scenario I have played out is if Roman wins, then yes, we'll get Roman Cody. If LA Knight wins, I have a feeling we'll get LA Knight and Cena, Rock against Roman, and then Cody will just go after Seth or Seth's title.
No.
I understand that the whole finishing the story, but realistically, it's the WWE World's Heavyweight Championship. They have two world titles. So it doesn't necessarily have to be Roman's.
But his father has won the World Heavyweight Championship per se. So he needs that WWE Championship. That's the one that Cody is dead set on.
Well, I'm taking the wild card here, and I'm taking LA Knight just to
throw a wrench in everyone's plans.
Yeah.
Mike must be watching WWE with Sean.
I guess we have come to the end of the table spot. So, Sammy, if you would like to plug yourself, let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, SammyXO43, and TikTok, SammyXO43 and SammyXO29.
All right. Jax?
You can find me right here for a long time. All right, that's what I'm going to say. And if you want to know about all my upcoming shows, just follow me on Twitter at Jaxpo2020.
Al.
You can find me here in and out over the next 48 hours. I have to go, do my real job.
Somebody has to actually keep.
Somebody has to
Yeah.
actually. But you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at justagirl918. Again, I'll say this: I said it on Botched Spots. I am looking for a Jay Uso figure. I have a Jimmy. I need a Jay. I'm gonna open it. Just to be clear.
So what if it's a loose that somebody finds? Like if it's already
that's fine. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care if it's old, new, whatever. Like I just need a J.
Okay.
Like it really doesn't matter like what time period he's from.
You just need a J.
I just need a J.
Okay.
I'm about to twist a J here in a second once we go off.
I knew that was coming.
We're not going off air, but
Well, so you can get ahead of that. You go ahead and plug yourself.
First and foremost, thank you guys for allowing me to come on the table spot for the first time. I appreciate you popping my cherry. Cam, I wish I could touch your beard. If you're interested in my shenanigans elsewhere and you're listening to this channel right now, you already know who I am and what to do. But if not, check my link tree, D. Will Gray. You'll find all of my shenanigans for Botched Spots and Share Shots off the top media, Creation World, and Rivet City Radio.
Alrighty. Cam, I got all your socials at the bottom here. So if you want to let everyone know where they can find you on the networks, go for it.
You can find me right here on Rivet City Radio every single Wednesday night with The Boom. And on Sunday nights right here on Rivet City Radio with The Table Spot. And on our sister channel, Off the Top Media, every single Friday night with Friday Night Review.
Oakley Dokley, make sure to head over to Cam's social medias, hit that follow button. Check out the great content that he has going on as well. And as well as all of our guests tonight on the table spot, Will, Al, Jax, Sammy, and Sean. Your socials on the bottom. Where can everybody find you on the networks here?
Oh, for the next 2 weeks, possibly nowhere because I might be losing 2 bets on Monday night. But
oh my god!
No, you can follow me on these links right here. Click the links down below. Follow me everywhere on those link trees, and also buy my Sin City Wolf merch on Off the Top Media's merch site, and help me earn some revenue, guys.
Stick around for Topless Matt and Will.
And Bo.
All right, and I'm going to be here for a long time as well. I'm not leaving. I'm staying. I'm going to be here. But here's all my socials. If y'all want to go check out my social medias, hit the follow button. I'm here. Normal schedule every Wednesday night on Cam G's The Boom, following AEW Dynamite, 10:15 p.m. with Cam and Will. You can see me on Saturday nights on Princess Movie Madness, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. on Rivet City Red Zone. And then Sunday nights here on the Table Spot at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Real quick broadcasting note, make sure to check out Paying Dues on Monday, watch Nerdy News at 4:20 on Tuesday, and Cam G's The Boom on Wednesday. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., we have a special Rivet City Red Zone quarterback, Monday morning quarterback edition with me and Johnny H at 8 a.m. So come join us there. Until then, well, we're sticking around after I hit the outro. So we'll see you all on the other side. To all of our guests that were here tonight, thank you very much. If y'all are sticking around, we'll see you on the other side. If not, y'all have a great night. And we'll catch you later. So we're going to hit the outro now. This is